Assalamu alaikum, sir. Walaikum assalam. My name is Shihab and I am a student of class 8 in Dhaka, Bangladesh. My question is there any difference between Fardh and Wazib? As far as the meaning of the Arabic word Fardh and Wazib, it means compulsory and obligatory. The meaning of both these words are the same. First, let me explain to you the various categories in Islam, and then I'll come to it regarding the issue of fiqh. As far as in Islam is concerned, that wajib and compulsory are those acts that a person has to do. If he does those acts, he will get blessings, he will get reward. If he does not do, it's a sin, he'll get a punishment. The second category is called as mustahab, or by the layman Muslims called as sunnah. If he does these acts, he will get reward and he will get blessing. If he does not do, it is not a sin, he will not get any punishment. The third category is called as mubah, or permissible. The first is fard or wajib, which is compulsory, obligatory. The second is mustahab, that is encouraged, also known as sunnah, the way of the Prophet. The third is mubah, which is permissible. If you do it, no blessing, no reward. If you don't do it, no blessing, no reward, no punishment, no reward. So if you do it, no reward, no blessing, no punishment, no sin. If you don't do it, no reward, no blessing, no punishment, no sin. Mubah means optional. And majority of the things in life are mubah, optional. The fourth category is makruh, that is discouraged. If you do it, there is no sin, there is no punishment. If you don't do it, there is blessing, there is reward. And the last category is haram. If you do it, it's a sin, it's a punishment. If you don't do it, there is a blessing, there is a reward. So basically, any action you do, it falls under any of these 5 categories. And further in each category, there are levels, like mustahab, highly recommended, mustahab, recommended, less recommended. So every category, of course, has got more levels. But broadly, any action a human being does or a Muslim does, it falls under 5 categories. Fard, for example, a wajib is like offering 5 times salah. For example, giving zakat, fasting in the month of Ramadan. Compulsory, you have to do it. If you do it, you get blessings, you get reward. If you don't do it, it's a sin, you get punishment. Number 2, mustahab. For example, reading the tahajjud salah or qiyamul layl, it is encouraged. If you do it, you get sawab, you get blessings. If you don't do it, it's not a sin, there is no punishment. Mubah. Mubah is optional. You want to eat a mango, no plus point, no blessing, no sin, no punishment. You want to eat apple, there's no verse in the Quran, eat a mango, no hadith saying eat a mango, no Quranic verse say don't eat a mango, no hadith saying don't eat a mango. Mango is mubah. I like it, I love it, I eat it, but mubah. So most of the actions in life is mubah. Third is makruh. The Prophet said, do not stand and drink water. But there was action opposite. So standing and drinking is makruh. So if you stand and drink, if you do that action, there is no sin, there is no punishment. But if you don't do it, there is blessing, there is reward. Makruh. And the last is haram. Drinking alcohol, doing zina, haram. If you do it, it's a sin, there is a punishment. If you don't do it, there is blessing, there is reward. So if you drink alcohol, if you do zina, it is a sin, it is a major sin. Some are major sin, some are minor sin, some are grave major sin, some are moderate sin. So sins are mainly divided into major sin and minor sin. Some scholars have gone to grave major sin, like shirk, having alcohol, riba, grave major sin. Then there are other major sin. Then there is moderate sin, minor sin, but broadly it's classified into major and minor sin. So if you have alcohol, it's a major sin. If you drink it, it's a sin and you'll get a punishment. If you don't drink it, it's a blessing, you'll get a reward. So basically there are 5 categories. Now coming to a basic question. What is the difference between wajib and fard? Meaning wise, both are same, compulsory, obligatory. But in the parlance of fiqh, in the 4 schools of thought, in the Hanafi school of thought, there is a difference between fard and wajib. And even according to one view of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, wajib and fard are different. In the rest of the school of thought, fard and wajib is the same. In the Shafi'i and the Maliki and majority of the Hanbali school of thought, fard and wajib is the same. 2 different words, but same meaning, same ruling, no difference at all. So what is the difference in the Hanafi school of thought as far as fard and wajib is concerned? Fard is something in which there is definite evidence of. And if there is ambiguous evidence of it, it comes into the wajib category. So in the Hanafi school of thought, fard means definite evidence that you have to do it. If there is ambiguous evidence that you have to do it, they put it in the wajib category, like offering witr salah. In the other schools of thought, whether it be Maliki, Shafi'i, Hanbali, they find no difference. They do research, they either put it into fard and wajib one category, it is fard or wajib, or it is not. That's it. As far as the implication is concerned, it is the same. In all schools of thought, all 4 schools of thought, not doing a fard or a wajib is a sin. And if you don't do fard and wajib, you'll get a punishment. So in implication of punishment and sin, wajib and fard is the same in all 4 schools of thought. But if you want more details, what is the difference in the Hanafi school of thought is that they have divided the compulsory into different categories. And in the Hanafi school of thought, that the evidence that is to be done anything is divided into 2 categories. It's either by transmission and by meaning. 2 evidence, transmission and meaning. So there are 2 types of transmission. All the verses of the Quran are mutawatir, 100%, no problem, definite. It is the most, every verse of the Quran, there are several evidence. So if you use the science of hadith and the science of how do you check the authenticity, 100% of the Quranic verses are of the highest order of authenticity. Quranic verses. In the hadith, there are various types of hadith which I spoken earlier. Sahih, Hasan, Zaif, Maudu. In the Sahih hadith, there are mutawatir hadith. Mutawatir hadith means at every generation, at every stage, there are many umpteen numbers of narrators. So there is no doubt about it. So there is a transmission level known as a definite transmission level and ambiguous level. The third is meaning wise. The verse is very clear cut. If the meaning is clear cut, it's definite. Some meanings may be ambiguous. So there are 2 types. One is the transmission, one is the meaning. So based on this, there can be 4 different options. First option can be, it is either definite transmission and definite meaning, highest category. Second is definite in the transmission but ambiguous in the meaning. The third is definite in the meaning but ambiguous in the transmission. And the fourth is ambiguity in the transmission and ambiguity in the meaning. So in the Hanafi school of thought, the highest level in which it is definite in transmission and definite in meaning, they put it under the fard category. For example, Quran says, offer 5 times salah. Hadith says, no problem, give zakat. In the Quran, in the Hadith, in the transmission, no, it is definite. In the meaning, definite. For example, Quran says in Surah Ma'idah, chapter number 5, verse number 6, that when you do wudu, you wash your face. Clear cut. Quranic verse, in transmission, 100% definite. In meaning wise, face means face. So it is a fard that while doing wudu, washing your face is fard. And all the schools of thought agree with that. But Hanafi, this definite in transmission and meaning, it becomes fard. But if there is definite in transmission, it's a Sahih hadith, definite in transmission. But there may be ambiguity in the meaning whether it is fard or not. For example, witr salah. The Hanafis put it into wajib. Offering witr salah, in transmission, it is definite. But in meaning, whether it's fard or not, they said ambiguity, so they put it under wajib category. The other schools of thought, the Shafi'i and the Hanbali and the Maliki, they put witr into category of mustahab, highly recommended. There is a difference. So if anything falls under the second and third category, that is definite transmission and ambiguity meaning, or definite meaning and ambiguity translation, they put it under wajib. And the fourth category, that is ambiguity in transmission and ambiguity in meaning, they put it as mustahab or sunnah. So they have divided it further, but overall the end of the ruling comes to the same. There's no difference of fiqh ruling. But as I mentioned earlier, the Hanafis believe that if you do not do a fard or a wajib, it's a sin and you get punishment for that. So what is the difference between fard and wajib? The difference is that if you do not do a fard act, and if you believe that a person need not do the fard act, it becomes kufr. For example, if a person says that he doesn't give zakat and he says, I don't believe giving zakat is a fard. Now it is fard, zakat giving is a fard. Ramadan offering, keeping the fast in the month of Ramadan is fard. There's no ambiguity in the transmission, there's no ambiguity in the meaning. Quranic verses are there, several hadiths are there. So if someone doesn't keep a fast, it's a sin, he'll be punished. But if he says, I don't believe you should keep a fast, it becomes kufr. In the actions of wajib in the Hanafi school of thought, if a person doesn't offer witr, it's a sin, he will get punishment. But if he says, I don't believe offering witr is a fard, it is not kufr. So the difference is, both are sin. If you don't do it, both are punishment. But if you believe not doing it, if you do not believe doing fard act is a fard, it becomes kufr. But if you don't believe a wajib act as being a requirement, it becomes not kufr. So these are the minute details, but in short, the answer is that wajib and fard both are compulsory in the most schools of thought, except for Hanafi school of thought, and as I said, one view of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. But all the madhahibs, they believe if you don't do a fard or don't do a wajib, it's a sin. If you don't do a fard or don't do a wajib, you'll be punished for that. The minute details are different level. So this was in brief that for general, as a lay Muslim, you should understand that wajib and fard both are compulsory, both are things which is obligatory. A Muslim should do it. If he does it, he'll get blessings, he'll get reward. If he doesn't do it, it will be a sin and he will be punished for that. Hope that answers the question.